Unless you're living under a rock, you probably just saw the USA brutally defeat Paraguay, showing them no mercy. And honestly, we need to talk about it. Because this wasn't just a win, it was a 4-1 obliteration of a team that everyone said would be our reality check. For weeks, all anyone said was, the US can't handle South American physicality. And the American team is just a collection of talent that doesn't know how to be a team. Well, if that's what a disorganized team looks like, then the rest of the world should be absolutely terrified. Today, we're breaking down exactly how the US turned a potential trap game into a statement win, the specific shifts that confused Paraguay's defense, and why the soccer versus football debate just got a lot more awkward for the rest of the world. To understand why this 4-1 scoreline is so insane, you have to look at the context. Paraguay came into this tournament known for one thing, being incredibly annoying to play against. Historically, the Paraguayan team is built on a foundation of Guerra Guarani, this fierce, never-say-die defensive grit. They aren't the team that beats you 5-0. They're the team that draws you 0-0 and makes you want to retire from the sport out of frustration. Leading up to this, the US had a bit of a CONMEBOL problem. We've historically struggled against the high press and the dark arts of South American sides. Experts on every major network predicted a 1-1 draw or a narrow 1-0 loss for the States. They expected the US to have 70% possession but 0 goals to show for it. But Greg Berhalter, or whoever's pulling the strings on the tactical board today, clearly had a different plan. They didn't just play into Paraguay's hands, they forced Paraguay to play an American game. Let's look at the opening 20 minutes. Usually the US likes to slow build from the back. It's methodical, it's safe, and frankly, it's sometimes a bit boring. But against Paraguay, we saw a massive change. Instead of recycling the ball between the center backs, the US was hunting for the half spaces. The first goal was a perfect example of this. It wasn't just a lucky break. It started with a high press transition. We saw our wingers pinching inward, forcing Paraguay's fullbacks into the center, which opened up massive lanes for our overlapping runs. When the first goal hit the back of the net in the 7th minute, you could see the Paraguayan game plan evaporate. They had to come out of their shell. They had to actually play, and that played right into our hands. Statistically, the US was winning over 60% of their second balls in the first half. That is a wild stat for a team that is usually accused of being too soft. We weren't just outskilling them, we were outworking them. By the time the second goal went in, a beautiful piece of work off a set piece, by the way, the expected goals, XG, were already 1.8 to 0.2. Total dominance. Beyond the tactics, we have to talk about the individuals. Yunus Musa was playing like he had a cheat code, gliding through Paraguay's midfield and recording a progressive carry rate that was frankly disrespectful. Meanwhile, Folarin Balogun finally gave us that clinical number 9 presence we've been craving. He wasn't just waiting for service, he was dragging defenders out of position and opening up the lanes that Pulisic and Weah exploited all night. We finally have a front three that doesn't just look good on a FIFA card, they look dangerous on a World Cup pitch. Paraguay did grab a consolation goal in the second half, and for a second, every US fan expected the classic panicked collapse. But instead of bunkering, the US actually increased their press. The fourth goal was the absolute dagger, a transition masterclass that proved we can play through the grit and still finish our chances. Scoring 4 goals against a South American defense isn't just a win, it's a statistical anomaly that is going to make the heavyweights in the bracket start looking over their shoulders. The experts are already trying to move the goalposts, claiming Paraguay had an off night, but the data doesn't lie. 65% possession, 4 goals, and a total control of the tempo. The US just proved that the golden generation isn't just hype. They're a problem for anyone they face. We're no longer the underdogs who are just happy to be here. We're the team that just put the entire bracket on notice. So, was this the best USMNT performance in history, or am I just riding the hype train? Drop your man of the match in the comments. I'm leaning toward Musa, but I want to hear your take. Like, subscribe, and stay loud. It's called soccer, guys. Deal with it. I'll see you after the next blowout.